I use my stage magic to emphasize real life magic moments. What would a good callback be for that?
Normally callbacks are humorous, but they don't have to be. Now, is it more, rather than humorous, is it more magical? Is that what you're going for?
Well, it's not necessarily more serious. It's a combination of serious and funny. Like,
How do you want your callbacks? I mean, do you want them to be funny, or do you want them to be more serious?
Well, I definitely want the callbacks to be funny to offset like the more emotional details.
Okay, good. Because that's the best kind of callback, is the funny ones. I'd have to see your act, but however you decide your opener to be, instill your callback somewhere in your opener. Now, I liked Danny, who was kind of a running gag, but for me, it's more like halfway through the show. My first callback doesn't hit until halfway through, because then people have to almost think back and go, and then you kind of hear them all get it at the same time. I had this one callback where I set it up early in the show. Have you seen Bounce No Bounce balls?
Vaguely.
Okay. They're the exact same, but one bounces and one doesn't. You switch them out. Okay. So I do this funny routine with a Super Bowl, not a Bounce No Bounce, but everybody knows a kid's Super Bowl. So I'm using Kid Super Bowl and it's bouncing all over the place, like not just up and down and around, but when I'm doing sleight of hand, it's bouncing. Oh man, it's bouncing all over the place. I can't get it to stop. And then it's like, blah, 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 blah. And then finally I stop and I'm like, okay, we're chill. I'm like, we want to try, and they try and it's like bonk on the ground. But this is a true story, and I built it in my act. I was doing this show, and there's a group of rocket scientists in the audience. So they came out afterwards and they said, did you know that Zectron is used in rocket fuel? And I make this big deal about Zectron. It's a compound that they used to make super balls out of. They stopped years ago, but you'd have to see the routine. But anyways, and I mentioned the rocket scientist saying, so it's a true story. Zectron's made for. Well, my callback later is the dumbest thing. Have you ever seen this where you do this and there's a floating finger? Well, I have the whole audience do this.
Yeah, I saw where Jeff McBride does the gimmick where it's a real sausage.
Yes, I do that gimmick also. So you do that, and my callback is, and everyone sees it and they're laughing and stuff, and I go, yeah, and when I was doing it for the rocket scientist, he was like, dude, it's magic! And it's funny because, number one, it's a callback, but number two, the rocket scientist is not supposed to be so easily impressed as this. You see what I mean?
Right.
That's one of the things I do. But so structure your opener, and then find a place to plug it back in. And I'd really have to see your act to know, but
well, what my opener is I use JL's Rubik's Cube, and I talk about how one of the things I love most about life is love.
You're getting a low battery.
But like the Rubik's Cube, love can be confusing. But after my show, it'll all be straightened out. That's when it gets solved.
okay, so later in the show, something's messed up. You do a mismade bill, and you go, it's kind of like love, and you throw it, and you just throw it away.
And that, or some callback to a Rubik's Cube. Like if I do a chop cut, maybe get like a mini Rubik's Cube fit in there.
There you go. But I like the idea of you saying love's complicated like this. I like later on, mess something up and do a callback too. Yeah, that's like love. And just throw it away. And something like that is what I would think. Yeah. Or if you, make the Rubik's Cube here. It's not as funny, but it's very surprising. Make that a running thing where it's just constantly, what the heck, it's there. It's, where else could it be? What other effects do you do?
Well, I changed up the flower